The main character, as the box states correctly, one of the few things it states correctly, his name is Casey, and he works at the museum, and he's coming in, and he meets his co-worker who acts like a supervisor, but she's like, oh, the actual manager never shows up, and she's right, because the manager only appears for 2 scenes. Then we go to a diner scene where it's Lisa and Casey sitting across from each other, and it's like this extremely tacky, there's a low rent 50s nostalgia cafe, which I didn't know still existed outside of Johnny Rockets.
Yeah, no, they exist, well, let alone in England.
Yeah, and they're selling like American diner food and everything. It's just very weird. But the funniest part is she reveals that she brought him here.
Thought this place might remind you of home.
Yeah. No, she associates America entirely with diner food and orders a completely flat soda that looks like it just consists only of syrup that's been left for weeks metastasizing in the back.
Yeah, when my Cajun friend came up north, I was like, oh, I know exactly where I'm going to take you. And we went to Popeyes. My Chinese friend, we went to Panda Express.
Panda Express, yeah.
And this is where there's a very strange encounter between the two of them, where they're asking, about each other's life aspirations, and it's very strangely feels like he's interviewing her for a job.
It's bizarre.
Yeah, what's your plan?
Plan.
Yeah, like career plan, life plan. Where do you imagine yourself?
Like he's talking down on her because she just, this is just a way to get extra money for her, and the fact that she doesn't love what she does at the museum and is not infatuated with these artifacts disgusts him.
Surely you don't plan on staying at the museum.
Why not? It's a 1-minute walk from my house, a 15-second run if I'm late.
But you show no real interest. You have no knowledge of the exhibits. It doesn't seem like your heart is exactly in it.
That seems framed almost romantically until the point that he just decides that she's a horrible person for just working a job.
Yeah.
Just for the money.
It's I am passionate about this stuff. How dare you? How dare you work at a museum for money?
How dare you take this ultimate responsibility of being paid near minimum wage to sit around on your phone and occasionally point to things?
Well, yeah, we've been shown that it doesn't take any sort of skill of any sort.
Well, yeah, and he's never shown taking it seriously himself, when he's actually there.
Yeah. The only time he ever is the very beginning when he finds the box, because he's kind of nerding out, or oh my god, this is amazing, look at this. But yeah, other than that, he's
but he's not shown
out.
Trying to give this information he has to the people who actually visiting the museum.
Impart his knowledge or his passion for this type of stuff onto the patrons. He just kind of sits there.
Yeah, he might be less helpful than she is.
Well, and it seems like we're putting a lot of emphasis on this scene, but the placement in the script and in the final film implies that the things that they're setting up are going to come back and be their motivations or have any sort of impact on the plot. But Lisa just kind of becomes a non-entity after this.
Yeah. She's established here she's going to be a secondary main character, but then she just kind of falls back as person who works with him, who's around.
The decline is funny because it's at the start of the scene she's possible love interest, and then it progresses, and then she's moving to secondary friend, and then it's just nothing.
Yeah, you watch the main character side plot zone her in real time.
Character development, guys.
Yeah.
Fleshing it out that has nothing to flesh out,
Oh, we're just going to say eat, sleep, museum.
Repeat. Put that on a tank top.
Yeah. Except You don't see him eat except for that one scene in the 50s American diner.
Yeah, they eat silver dollar pancakes and the most disgusting soda I've ever seen on screen.
Oh yeah, no, horrifying.
Yeah.
Absolutely horrifying.
It's in a glass, and it's not even filled to the top like you would expect at a diner. There's no ice in it. It's completely flat, and there's bendy straws in it that through multiple takes look like they've already been used.
Dude, the thing is that was the scariest scene in the movie, because I just felt so disturbed the entire time. Are you gonna actually drink that?
And it does nothing but put emphasis on it, because Lisa, she's fidgeting with her straw the whole time, as you might do with something that has ice in it. But she's just swishing around in this bleak, diarrhea cup.
They definitely got that from the craft services table. It was just sitting there for a long time.
Yeah, but they were at an actual diner. I guess they were like, you can
That's
film
true.
here,
There's
but
no
you're not getting
excuse.
any fucking soda.
Are you kidding? That stuff's expensive.
That
don't get any
costs
free
5
soda.
cents per pint.
Well, 5 cents is 5
Too
cents.
much for this museum and film.
5 cents. You got to shave off every 5-cent chunk you can. That's
Yeah,
if you're a good producer.
they reincorporated that budget into having metal detectors and toys and stuff for the museum. You gotta scrimp where you can, or else the thing would be completely empty.
They didn't really go out of their way to pick anyone that fit their description. The American guy is just clearly an English guy doing a bad American accent, and Maurice is just an English guy. Just a bunch of English dudes.
The main guy does such a bad job of doing an American accent that I didn't realize he was supposed to not be English for the entire first scene.
Me too.
Well, yeah, that's why they literally had to be like, yeah, I'm here from the U.S. of A. I'm American.
I thought this would remind you of your homeland.
Yeah, no, he's just dripping barbecue sauce out of his mouth the first time you see him.
Casey is sitting in the stairwell of the museum, and he's just listening to a voicemail, the voicemail that the lady in his dream was making as she was running from the knife guy, just playing it out loud in the stairwell, which
Full
is
volume.
acoustically where it would carry through the entire
most.
museum.
Yeah.
No, he's you can tell if someone did this in real life that it's a desperate cry for help.
Yeah,
'Cause
but then when his what's the woman's name?
Lisa.
Lisa. When Lisa is revealed that she's been listening to him, he acts I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Sorry.
It's so obvious that at least in a real context that he's lying when he's oh, I didn't notice you there. Sorry.
Yeah.
So do you want to ask me about my problem? Do you want to ask me about it?
You definitely weren't baiting me into asking you about your life problems.
Yeah, you haven't been desperately baiting me the whole movie while also shitting all over me repeatedly.
He really negs her, doesn't he?
No, he does. He does it
He's
really
not a good
hard.
guy.
No.
Well, yeah. As we find out further, by the
Yeah, she asks him what's up, and he tells the story, and he's like, oh yeah, my fiance, I was sleeping one night and she called me, and yeah, I just didn't pick it up.
And then she died.
Yeah, she died. Just if your fiance calls you in the middle of the night at 4 a.m., there's probably a good reason for it.
There's probably some kind of emergency.
Yeah, something's probably going on.
But he actively looks at his phone, so he's awake, and he hits ignore.
Before he said that, I was expecting it to be oh, he was just dead ass asleep, and so he didn't see it, and he still thinks he's guilty, and so that way you can sympathize with him a little bit, where it's yeah, man, that wasn't totally your fault, but this is just completely his fault. Why would you not pick up a phone call from your fiance super late at night? What the hell's wrong with you?
But they also don't like overly try to be like, like he was doing something shitty and like ignored her call or whatever. He was just sleepy and went And it's like really just kind of weird to feel anything about.
It's a weird in between, but yeah, where they didn't try to make him sympathetic, like overly sympathetic, and they also didn't try to make him feel like he was the worst guy possible. It's just
and felt guilty for it.
Yeah, because even if someone does something bad, you can understand like a human flaw in that. So I mean, it's somewhere between he was just asleep and he was cheating on her, and both of those options would have been better and made him a more sympathetic character for one reason or another. But instead, she died out of complete gross negligence, and you just kind of don't feel anything toward him anymore.
Yeah, or just pettily like, sorry bitch, I'm tired, and moves on.
Oh, I'm sure this is, I'm sure we can talk about this tomorrow.
Yeah, that's why she's calling me at 4 a.m. because it's an unimportant thing we could talk about at any time.
She was like, hey honey, I think we're out of milk. I gotta get some of that at the store.
Well, to be fair to him, we don't have a lot of context for his like life out before the scene. Like maybe she does just call him up at 4 a.m. to be like, "Oh, I was just dreaming about this," or like whatever. And he's like, "God damn it!"
You know what, Aaron? I guess maybe that's the case.
Yeah, maybe she's just really obnoxious.
That stupid bitch. I told her two things. I told her, don't call me at 4 a.m. about the eggs ever again. And I told her not to walk around the park in a trench coat like it's a fucking 50s noir. You're going to get killed.
And what'd she do? She did both.
Both at the same time.
Then she goes to bury the demon after she finds out all the stuff. She goes to bury it, and then he's like, oh shit, the demon still can come out because the claw.
Severed claw.
And he's screaming at the prison, and she gets sucked into the box, and that's the end.
Yeah, a very climactic ending.
For the whole movie, just kind of, the editing is kind of off, but the final scene is, I'll say, it works well enough.
It does. I guess it's just like, I wish Lisa meant anything to me on any level.
Yeah, 'cause she kind of just disappears from the movie for a while.
Yeah, the baby face buries her, turns her heel early into the movie, and then she never does anything of note ever again. That's true.
Yeah, she gets told that she's garbage and an idiot, and then goes, oh yeah, I guess. Yeah, she's done.